Hello Pisces, welcome back to my channel. I am Mariana and I will do the vibes inside for you today. So Pisces being the last sign in the zodiac, the 12th house, I have this strong feeling of like the world card, like coming to an end, a fulfillment of a cycle, something like that. But that is everything about you, Pisces, somehow. It's about this completion or the final result or getting to the bottom of something or finally seeing or having the last puzzle piece or something like that. And when you put down the last puzzle piece, it's like, oh, now I see why this is, and it takes you to the world card, like the fulfillment or the end of a cycle, and you can then start over again, right? You can continue your journey. So I have a card here saying door to romance. And there's this heart in this cave, and there's a little bit a key lock in it. I want to keep it here. I'm not sure because it says romance. And romance is, of course, one thing. Because when I look at this card, it's like the heart really stands out to me. It's and the heart in the cage somehow. The door to romance, actually, I want to put, not to say that it can't be important. I get more something like door to love, if any door. What unlocks the door to the romance or to your heart? It's like what needs to be present. What can unlock that? What can unlock the door? Because we see that the heart is in a cage here, like a bird in a cage. Yeah, like a feeling of that your heart is maybe you're protecting your heart, or you, because I'm not really sure that someone has the lock to it or has the key to it. Maybe you have the key, right? But it's almost like what is supposed to come in that potentially where you want to come out of this cave. Like maybe you've put yourself there, like and because someone can see your heart doesn't mean they can take it, right? It's still in the cave. And I see the cave as it may seem like it's a protective mechanism to keep your heart locked away, but I see it actually more like it could be a protective mechanism for people not grabbing it, right? That they don't necessarily just grab it, that you may have put it there for a reason. So you are the one who has the key. Like you have the key. Maybe you have forgotten where you put it, right? But you have the key to the cave. And you decide when to open it, right? Whether someone can, well, maybe not grab, but come in contact with your heart, right? That you are the one in charge of who may come near it. So you can say there is a door to romance, but you are the gatekeeper, you could say, of that. Or the doorman, or, you know, like, you're the one who decides whether they have the right I don't know, are they honorable enough? Do they deserve my heart? So you are in charge of who deserves that heart of yours, or a heart connection with you, right? Or you decide yeah, like you decide whether someone is honorable, has value enough, that it deserves a heart connection with you. I feel like it's you are the now I get something like you have put yourself in a cave and you could act like you needed help, you know, like you were put there by force. But it's a test, right? It's a test to see if people would offer you something, if they would offer you help to escape, or offer you help to get out, or offer you help. So you could look like a victim. Or if this is not you, Pisces, it could be someone you're dealing with, like they look like a victim, but it's a test, I feel like. Like it's a test to see if you will unlock your heart for them, right? That you will come towards them and offer something. And then they decide whether they will open up to you or not. You see, like they may act in a like damsel in distress, and they will see if they can unlock the gentleman in you, or the savior in you, you know. And when if they do that, and they see how you come running towards them and want to help them, or offer something, give something, then they are deciding whether they will actually give something back, right? Whether they will reciprocate this chivalry knight in shining armor experience. So whether they will find it honorable enough. Yeah, that's what I get, like really fairy tale, like, but again, Pisces, you are a bit dreamy, right? I get this like chivalry, the knight in shining armor that rushes in to help the damsel in distress, and when she sees how heroic and everything, how he jumped to her rescue, it must mean that he cares and loves her. That's the door to romance, right? It's like it opens the door to romance if someone is rescuing me. If someone is willing to rescue me, come to my aid, because I'm a victim or I'm in a stressful situation, I'm in danger or something, then I'll see who comes running, right? I see who is coming running here. And that is a way of discerning or figuring out who really cares. So the chivalry, the heroic jumping in and helping in a stressful situation equals romance somehow. It equals someone whom I will trust to be there if I actually were in trouble, right? If I actually were in trouble, I now know that there is someone to count on, that they will come to my rescue if I got in real trouble, right? If I got in real trouble, I know that they will now be there. They will come to my rescue. They will see my distress, and they will come forth and help me. And when I see them do that, it must be a real act of love, right? It must be that shows what a person is made of, right? It shows what a person is made of. Even if that person that comes to my rescue is actually not someone I know. It may be a total stranger. But if I faint in the street, is someone coming to my aid? And if they are coming to my aid, it must be because they have a helpful heart, right? They have a heart that is worthy of my love, right? Because I'm looking for a person who is romantically, I'm looking for a person who is willing to be the knight in shining armor who comes to my rescue. If I call them, they come and rescue me. They do what is necessary. They will take care of me. They will get me to the hospital. They will protect me, But I get it almost like I get it. It's almost like I open the door here, and then I show a situation where my heart is entrapped. You see, it's put in a cave here. So it seems like I am in trouble, or it seems like I'm locked into a situation that is dangerous, perhaps, or I'm in trouble somehow. And I open the door to that so people can see in now. They can see something. I share a bit of my story. I share a story, but I feel like it's not. It may be part of your story, but you are not in that much of a distress. It's more like a test. Like your test. Someone is testing people here. Like it's a test. It's to see whether people will. The key is right there, right? The key is right beside the cave. I get a feeling of like to see if someone would step in. Let's say you were on I don't know where I get this, but let's say you are on what's it called? Speed dating? you know, like you're in a room where there are these 30, 20, 30 people, and they're having these speed dates where they sit only for a few minutes, have a little conversation, then you switch tables, and there's a new conversation partner, right? There's a new potential date in front of you. And you have these quick switches, and you have a like multiple conversations with different people, and you rate them, then you rate them. And you know, if you had, maybe you selected a few of them like potential, like real dates, and just to make sure that you get the right one, you're just doing this. You know, like you fall on the pavement, your heel breaks, and you fall on the pavement, right? And you see if someone is actually coming to help you up, offering you a helping hand, asks if you are right, asks if you that you need to go to the hospital, or whether you need help to get a cab or something, or to get home. You know, if someone is offering something, but I feel it's a test, like to see if the word that they just presented to you during the speed date actually matches their instinctual behavior, right? And if they do, if they actually come to your aid here, it can be a way to open up to your heart. Like that is something that is your, you could say, maybe a heart opener, right? It for you, it could be, that is a thing that I'm looking for. If that is not present, the door is closed, right? Then I'm closing the door again. I have to see how they respond to this situation here somehow. So I put myself, or I'm you know, like it could be that this is let's say you are on a dating app, and this is the story you bring out, that you are in this unhappy marriage and you don't know how to get out, and they are not pleasant with you, and you feel kind of trapped. How are they emotionally responding to that? Are they running away? Do they ghost you? Do they speak into it? Do they want to offer some kind of help? You know, like, or you know, like that is a way how to discern something. This is what I get. So maybe it was just a flyer, so I'm not quite sure whether I should put much attention on it. It could be that this is just a message that has to do with whatever situation this is. It could be the feeling that this is a test, that you are being tested here, right? Or you are testing someone. I'm putting it over here, just like it's maybe it's not supposed even to be known, right? But now I told you, right? I told you what I instantly feel about this. Instantly. I'm not doubting. I have no doubt about this. Like this, it feels like a test. It looks like someone is trapped here. And yes, it may seem like that, but actually it feels like the entrapment is done by the person themselves. And I feel it's a test. They paint a picture of something here. They paint a picture of something, but actually it's just to see whether people will offer some kind of help. Okay, so let's have the cards out here. Hmm. Just look at this. I don't know. Again, I said that it's a door. It says door to romance, but I feel door to love. Like more like this can be more general. I don't want to put it. It could be, of course, a romantic situation between two people, but it could also be like whether you would come to the rescue of someone you care about. Like it could be a parent, right? It could be a sibling. It could be a partner. Or you're looking for the affection or the caretaking from someone, and therefore you are testing whether someone would come to your aid if you were really in trouble somehow, right? You're testing that. I feel it comes across as maybe the person doesn't know that this is what they're doing, like they're doing it subconsciously. But to me it's very clear, like I see it like it's so they open up a little bit so you can see a little bit of their misery somehow. And then it what it wants is that it wants you to, it plays on your emotions, right? It plays on your compassion and your maybe loyalty and your love for them, like yeah, but I'm so miserable and I just feel so bad. I just had this breakup and now I'm in this terrible mood and I just feel so down and I don't know how to move on, right? So they are playing on the emotions to get you to take a bite, like connect with them. Like they want you to connect with them about the situation here, about the cave, about this trouble, this misery they are in, this unhappy marriage, or how they feel tied or bound to something and they can't break out of it. And they want your compassion, your it could be someone who is in prison, but that's actually not, it could be, but that's not what I get. Again, it's not the situation that they are in prison that is the trouble. The trouble is how they got in there in the first place. If they did something bad, this is the reason why they are in prison. And they may feel very sad about it and they want to get out and how bad it is to be in there, but there's a reason why they're there. If they were correctly, if the judgment were correctly justified, there's a reason why they're there. That could also be what this is, like they are in some kind of predicament, but they are in there because of something. And now they are like spilling this story about how bad it is and how terrible, and they feel awful, and they're playing on the emotions so that someone would like offer compassion and help and understanding and loyalty perhaps, or devotion or something. That's what I feel. But it's like a game. It's like they want to see if they can lure someone closer here. Look at the cards. Like, I have man holding a heart here. And then look at this one. I know it says transformation, but look at the card. Oh, how I sit here in the cold, so sad and so miserable and I'm on my knees. I don't know how to. I'm so broken and everything is bad. And they are hoping that someone will offer something here. Like that they will come in and like offer something here to this one who sits here, and like they may want a transformation of the situation they're in, but the way they are attracting it by seeming very weak, by seeming weak and small and little, and like these fluffy eyes here, you know, like baby eyes, blink, blink, and how sad my life is, and I'm on my knees, and look at how she sits here with the hands, and how this is, I'm just, I'm thrown to my knees. I'm in such a predicament, hoping that someone would come here and offer kindness and understanding and compassion and help me go through this sadness or sorrow or whatever this is, this hardship in life. And I'm using this tone of voice, right? But this is what I get, like how she sits here. The reason why she's sitting here is because she wants to get out. Like she wants to get out of a feeling of something bad. So she wants something to transform. And the way she wants it is by luring someone in who can make him or her feel better here. Like she wants to lure him in and he should offer her a lot of stuff here. Care and love and devotion and everything, and this is the one she's looking for, the one who is prepared to offer a heart here. Look at how similar these, he holds a heart and the red bushes here in background. This is what she wants, right? Come and rescue me, right? Then our hearts can connect with each other. But you have to rescue me from this. So someone is needing a rescuer here. Heroic gentleman with the knight in shining armor that comes in and rescues me out of this terrible situation, where I'm in such a need for a hero here, right? I'm in such a need of a rescuer, a savior, who should come in here with a big heart. And because they come in with this big heart, I can heal, right? Now I'm safe now. Now I'm saved, and I'm healing together with my beautiful knight here. But then on the other side here, I now have, and look at this, like I can read, it's almost like humorous here. The 10 of Michael, 10 of Swords. So 10 is a completion of something, a completion of being someone who comes to the aid of others. That this could be what you normally used to do, like you came running here to rescue someone or to offer something. And it says here, a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. And see how she is bowing at the end of an performance. Like, like at an end of a performance, like maybe that's what you are seeing here, that someone was doing this to you, and you are seeing it now, how it kept luring you in. If they kept calling and being, sad and like little and weak and small and uncomfortable and unsafe, and like then you felt you should come in and help them. as a gentleman here and coming in, or it doesn't have to be that. As I said, this could be a friend of yours, right? Could be a friend of yours who's pitying themselves here, and they want you to come and take care of them, right? They're looking for someone who is like their rescuer or a protector or some kind. Maybe a mother, right? Or a father. They're looking for a father who should come in and give them the love here and the care and the protection and the understanding and the help and the taking care of them, right? They're looking for a caretaker here. But now it's like you're bowing the show is over. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but that's what I get, and this is where I feel like the world card is here, right? That the 10 suggests always like coming to an end of something. 10 of Swords is like in the right way to row. We see a person laying by the beach with a totally stabbed in the back, laying there to die on his own, right? And that would be what this is like. When this one has depleted you of all your energy, they will leave you and look for someone else, and you will lay there being depleted of all your energy because you have wasted or given and given and given of all your compassion and devotion and love and care and healing energy, and that you became the caretaker of someone, right? That you somehow you got lured in by someone's, maybe you would say, pityness, by their show here, by the things like they presented as such a good little person here, right? Who was misunderstood or abused or like really not very capable, right? And they were like they needed so much help. And this sob story, somehow you got drawn in by it, and your big heart here wanted to help them. And maybe you saw yourself going back to this person again and again and again and again and again. Like every time they seemed like such a sad little one here. And they wanted that to change. Like they wanted it to be different. The transformation they were looking for here is that someone should come and help them out of this situation where they sit here. And you may have come to that rescue again and again. But now you're bowing here and you're saying, this situation has now ended. I'm finally free of being the one who should come in all the time and be caring, considerate, forgiving maybe, or devoted or loyal or something. That you have put all your effort into something here that never really actually changed much. Now you are bowing. The show is over. I have danced. I have entertained you and given you all like of the best performance I could give you here. I have put all my heart in it. I have danced for you, or whatever this is. I have done this, and I'm done doing it. Like the 10 of Swords is like a depleting energy. It wears you out. It's not something where you can, because this is someone who always takes, right? They always take from you. And it means that they can never in any way give back. Like they can only take from you. They cannot give back. And it means that your energy eventually probably will be depleted until you say no, right? Until you bow and say, this is all, folks. There's no more show. I'm out, right? A situation has ended. You are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you, right? So in the past, you were the one who gave here, right? And now you're setting yourself free. And it's because I feel like you're seeing through this, like you've realized that something you had regarded as someone really being in trouble, it was actually just a test to get you sucked in to that story, right? And keep you attached to it. Now you're seeing it for what it is or what it was, and you are no longer lured in by it. And it means that now they are on a standstill here. They are on their own. Right? It's like now they sit here by themselves. There's a standstill here. Nothing is happening. You are not giving to their, I don't know, void, their, I don't know what this is, a broken personality here, or the sadness they sit in here, or the void they sit in. You are no longer giving to it, right? You have stopped performing here, and you're taking yourself out of it, and now they sit like this this person who it's like they are calling, right? They sit in this misery here, and it's like they're calling. Is nobody can someone hear me? Like I'm really in this trouble. Come and help me, please. Come and help me, right? And now it's just like they sit here, and it's just a standstill. Nobody's coming. Nobody's here. Like no, they are just on their own here. There's a standstill in the feeding of whoever this is, right? It's almost like from seeing the person now, we see the face and something, we can only see like a shadow of something, right? Maybe it's like you realized that if I keep continuing giving here to something, it ends up being me who becomes like a shadow version of myself. Like it sucks or drains the energy out of me. So I become like this. I see it more though like because you've stopped feeding here, because you are not dancing, or you're no longer, like dancing to their tune, or you're no longer feeding into the story, or you're no longer taking responsibility, or, things like that. Now it feels like it's almost like they are drying out. Like they are drying out because nothing is feeding them. Like they don't get what they need here. They don't get what they need. But that's another realization. Maybe they actually do realize that they are in a cave by their own making, but they are in a cave here. You haven't put them there. They have put themselves there. Maybe they have lived there so long now that it has become their reality. The pity party. Maybe maybe they have lived there so long now that they don't know how not to be this, right? But up here, I feel like someone is definitely saying no. Like I even feel like it's like over here, you're really seeing how you have been dancing to a tune and how it has been draining you. Like you kept dancing for them here, right? You kept dancing for them to make them happy. You kept jumping and, I don't know, you kept performing here to keep them like a little more happy or more satisfied. But you're also realizing how draining it is to be like in the company of someone like this. How draining it is. And how they are keeping calling, right? It's like like a child, right? It's like a child that keeps calling because they can't themselves. But in this case, I talk about an adult person. Like they have put themselves here, made themselves smaller, weaker. They have identified with this pity party here. And they sit like this in a sob story here, whatever it is. And it's draining your batteries. It's a very draining story. For them to be in, I think, but also for you. So you're realizing whatever, maybe it was a romantic situation here, but you were drawn in by maybe a sad story here. And maybe you wanted to help them or heal them or make them feel better or, I don't know, be a friend or be of assistance or something. But now you realize how this can be used as a manipulation to get people to stay or to get people to help or get people attached somehow. The still stand could also like really talk about now they're on their own, right? You left, you said the show is done, I'm out. So now they're on their own here. They still sit here. But they are left, the transformation they are looking for, they are now needing to do it alone. Because nobody is coming in to, like smooth everything out or to take care of everything. Like it's like this person has to grow up, right? They're left on their own now, and we don't know how it's going to be. Are they going to be absorbed by their own story, or will they actually rise from this? We don't know that. I just see someone who has left here, who has left. And it's because you're seeing through something here. Like you see that something here was not, it was actually not real romance and real love here. It was a manipulation. And where it really feels like a big betrayal is because it was playing on the best side of you, right? The most beautiful and caring and considerate and devotional and caring and loving part of you was drawn towards this to help. But it wasn't real, right? It was, that's where it feels like a double betrayal. One thing is that it drained the life out of you here. But the next thing is that it wasn't real. Like or maybe this one feels like it's real, right? In some kind of toxic way, they may feel it's real. For them, it may be real, but it doesn't mean that you need to be here. Not if it's draining you, not if it's taking the best, the most beautiful qualities of you out of you, like it sucks or drains it out of you. Then I don't think that you necessarily need to stay there, right? When you realize this was a scam, it was actually take it into any situation. It could be I don't know, an email you get, right, about these poor sick children in Africa, right? It plays on your emotions for the sick children of Africa, and how we can transform the situation, that they are in this like really bad living alone in this neighborhood. They have no parents to shelter them, and it's that you realize it's just a campaign to get money, but the money never gets to these children, right? Like, and then it's like you're stopping paying the money, or you put it into your situation, but it's this feeling that you have been misled, deceived, and what they are playing a game where they are appealing to all the, you could say, the best sides of you, like the most beautiful, heartfelt, loving, caring, considerate parts of you. Things that go close, like things that are deep, right? They run deep in the heart. It could be things that you really value, you treasure this, right? And now it just feels like you've been played with by someone here. And maybe, yeah, it could be that this person literally wants to get out of this sadness. And maybe they don't know how to. They just hope that someone will come by and help them. Maybe they do need transformation and they are hoping for it, but they are hoping for an outer one. That you come in and you give them what they need, and then they will be happy again. But I just get the feeling this is a never-ending story, like it keeps asking for more dance here. More love, more care, more understanding, more consideration, more. And you have finally gotten to the point where you say, end of the show. This situation has ended. You are free of this. And yes, you may have thoughts, what's going to happen when I leave this person, perhaps, or when I leave this situation behind. Where does this leave this person? Yeah, it leaves them alone. And, well, wonderful things can happen when people are alone. Because they figure out that there is no rescue line, right? That there's nobody coming. It means that they have to like own up to something, or they have to take responsibility themselves. Of course, it could end in misery. Maybe they die. Maybe they get even more sucked more into their own, I don't know. I see it a little bit like fire, right? Maybe they get sucked more and more into their own fire, their own, I don't know, problems here. But it could also be that this is a sunrise, right? That they sit here and they're watching a sunrise, and it means that maybe they start taking responsibility themselves for their lives, for the life that they... Here they need a rescuer, right? They need someone to come in and rescue them. So alone they are miserable, right? Because they can't seem to like get things done or figure stuff out themselves. So they need something to come in and rescue them here. So it puts them in a very needy and attached, codependent, you could say, situation. And we don't know if they will stay there or whether they will try to mature and stand up and get out of this situation. We don't know that. I just see that, Pisces, that you got yourself out. Someone got themselves out, and someone is left behind with, well, we don't know where this is going. And whether this card is for this person or this one or both, I actually feel it's both. But if you belong to this group here and you're realizing someone is gone, they are not coming back, now you see the prison you have put yourself in, perhaps. How codependent you let yourself become, or I don't know, that the pity stuff that you have, that has been your entire story, that you're seeing the, you could say, the amount of trouble that it has created in your life. That the still stand allows you to see your own what's that called? Purgatory. Like that the still stand, the no feeding of others, taking care of you, is now allowing you to see the fire around you. Right? That how much trouble it has created for you. And how little you know, maybe, how to live your own life and be independent. Like independence, like becoming independent may feel like you are that you have to go through something here. Your own shadows. You have to go through your own shadows to find out, to be independent. Can I have a card on this still stand, please? So I get the card of the witness. Maybe you are, this guy here is now being the witness of someone's still stand. Or the person in question here, they are actually now realizing that nothing is coming, right? That they are on their own. They are becoming a witness to their own situation. She is kind of blurry here. You can't really see her that much. It can be that this is an awakening moment for this person here. That something seems to look through the situation. That for this one here, instead of just sitting in this pity situation and feeling really absorbed in your own mud here, you are starting to see through it. You're starting to realize, I'm on my own now. Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. I'm starting to see, become the witness to my own situation here. To my own situation and what it got me into, being a like a codependent here, totally reliant on someone else's rescue, has gotten me into a mess here, like a very shadowy version of myself, where I don't even know myself. Like we can't really identify who this is. It may be that you start to have a more vague understanding about yourself, or you are seeing how invisible you have been, right? How little space you take up. How, you could even say how unimportant you have, like how unimportant you are, or how less of an impact you have on the world when you are on your own. When you are in the still stand, this is maybe the first time you actually become a witness to your own situation. That you start to see a little bit of yourself. How little or unimportant or unrecognizable you actually are, or you would say how little you know of yourself. How little you know of yourself here. That you are just this unknown kind of figure here. That's one of the things you have to go through, right? That maybe you need to realize, I am a nobody. Because I'm like this, I'm a nobody here. And nobody cares, nobody wants me, nobody. That's shadow work. You have to go through the grief, or you could say the rock bottom of something here. Starting becoming the witness to your own situation. Realizing how the reason that you are so shadowy here, or so invisible, the invisible, or the little, like this, how little space you take up. The weakness, like we could see this also because she is so unclear. It's because she has a weak aura, like she has a weak aura around her. Her presence is weak. She has, or very little, like she has a little presence, little persona, little impact, you could say. Her impact to the surrounding world is very little. People almost don't see her, right? They see her as this, praying here for someone's help, and being like seen as weak and little and unable and maybe disabled, someone who doesn't know, like they don't have wisdom, they don't have any knowledge, they can't do much, they are insufficient, seen like that. That they need someone else to carry them, like they need a carrier. And when you are standing alone here and you realize, I need a carrier, it's like someone who carries me. This is where you realize how weak of a persona you may have. You are now the witness of your own misery. But this can be a starting point of realizing I have to become more visible. Right? I need to become stronger. Because nobody is here now. Like the show is over. Someone left the building here. Someone left the building. I want one more card on this standstill here. The standstill could also talk about like a part of your persona is frozen in time. It never grew up. Like it got frozen by some kind of situation in your life where you gave up, you fawned, or you got hurt, or you got overwhelmed, and that part of you fawned. It gave up. It surrendered. It decided it needed to be submissive to something else. That could also be what you're realizing, that a part of you's fawned and surrendered, and it never got to develop more. That's why you had the standstill. That the standstill is actually about a part of you that is fawned or that surrendered, that never gotten to any kind of it never grew up. It never became an adult. It stood still in the midst of the fire. It just stood there, right? Like without any ability to take action. So it froze in time. So it's interesting who this is, right? What is it and what can it do, this witness? Because first you become the witness. And then you realize, but what if this one could grow up? What if this one could evolve? What if this one could have a face? A name? What if it could stand and do something? Instead of just having a standstill here. What if someone could actually rise to the occasion here? Can we get one more card on the standstill and the witness here? I get envy. This card usually talks about someone who can see what they already have. They are always admiring someone else's better fortune, even though they may actually be quite well off themselves. It's like they always see themselves standing in the shadow of someone else. So they are always hungry or envious or looking at something that seems better than what they already have, instead of actually just being grateful for what you have and happy and content. This is someone who is never content. They are never really content. It's like they're looking for something that can somehow complete them. And if I could just have this, then I would feel, if I could just have this, then I would feel better. If I could just have this, then I would, like this one, right? If I could just have this perfect love coming in, then I would feel happy. But we also see how dark she is, right? That she's consumed by something here that doesn't allow her to kind of connect fully with the sunlight. She actually stands a little bit in the shadow here. Like this one, she's hiding somehow, right? Don't put your light under a bushel, or what is it called? It's like she doesn't know how to stand in the sun. It could be someone envious of someone who actually embraces maybe spotlight. You know, like the standstill could be the freeze of actually putting yourself out there, taking the spotlight, becoming the, I don't know, being confident to stand on the stage or to perform or to be we have a performer here, right? A ballet dancer where people are looking, they have an audience, right? Here it could be someone who is envious of those who can stand in the spotlight, who do offer their heart, because they have nothing to offer here. They don't have anything to offer, and they don't know how to stand in the spotlight. Nobody sees them, right? They are somewhat invisible here, but they are becoming a witness to their own situation, right? It's almost like a boomerang effect, like they finally get to see something about themselves, that maybe they were envious of someone else's success here. What that means, somehow I get the feeling that it's someone who dares to express themselves honestly with their emotions. They would even go on the stage talking about it, right? They wouldn't hide it, like it's part of their persona. He sits here casually and holds the heart. He's not really hiding. His face is fully present, where we see this one being more of a shadowy, more hidden version. He sits here relaxed and calm, and like what's that called? Like these what are they called? Like if this was an actor and they were interviewed in a studio, they were interviewed about the next performance, and they sit there casually. Like they just sit there being all adorable and everything. And they are quite honest and open, like their body language is open, they are relaxed, they know how to present themselves, like they speak honestly about their emotions perhaps, and this is what they have done. Like they have done this with this one. But now they're not doing that. Now they are no longer sharing. Swords energy is Michael here. It's swords energy. It's air. So it's communication. The communication has come to a standstill. There's no communication with someone. And someone here is realizing how unimportant they feel when someone is no longer feeding them with some kind of heartfelt communication, or they feel the standstill is making them dry out almost, right? And it puts them in envy, but it puts them in a dark place, I want to say. It puts them in a place where they're realizing that they need it, right? They need that they could be envious of people, of you here, whoever, if this is you, Pisces, right? They are envious of your way of maybe talking openly and casually and like trusting about your emotions and how you feel and how you could come in and how you would help others. They are envious of that. They realize their own enviousness, how closed off they actually are, how they want to be here, but they don't know how to step out there. They don't know how to be that person, right? They are actually maybe they are more cold-hearted, actually. They disguise it by presenting as weak here, and like, I don't know, like I don't know it it's almost like, like a deer that has been wounded by the hunter, the little deer in the forest who has this wound, the bleeding wound. Please help me, right? I'm wounded. I don't know how to get myself in a safe place. And it's this sad little deer. Again, a deer is not a predator, right? It presents as wounded, sad, miserable, weak, also maybe with like, like, I'm this good little person that has been like wounded and treated miserably in my life, and now I'm really hurt and I need someone to come and rescue me, right? So they present as a victim, poor little victim. But I don't think they are, right? They hide behind a more colder, and it's such an interesting dynamic, because here they are asking and calling for someone to come in and help them. But I said this is never saturated. It's never going to stop asking. And it's because it's cold. It cannot take in the warmth. It's not able to take in any warmth. And it's envious of the people who has the warmth here. Even has something to give to others, right? It's envious of those who do have it. So it's needing and calling for people to come in and give it to them. And at the same time, they are envious and maybe even hate the people for it. Like it's not a good energy here, I feel like. But what I feel is happening here, it seems like someone is realizing something, how invisible they are, or unimportant. They are. And how it leaves them feeling dried out and cold and envious. And let's get some cards on the man holding a heart here, because I think it's quite a different energy. Let's have a look at it. It's your lucky day, new resources of money, time and support, a change in job and a promotion. Ace of Ariel here. This is what this one brings. This one is fresh. An ace is new, right? It's a new, fresh energy. New resources of money, time, support. Of course, this one wants that. That's what they're looking for, right? They're looking for maybe someone with fame and money and resources and support. They're looking for someone who could come in and change their life here. Someone with resources and heart and compassion and who wants to help and offer something. This one can do, they have this, right? That's the new beginning someone was looking for here. They're looking for someone with all these resources who would come in, support and time and money, resources. Maybe they can literally transform the life here of someone, because maybe they can help you get a new job or a new house or a new, I don't know, maybe they can offer you a gift of money or something that can help you. That someone comes in here as a lucky savior here. That suddenly you have attracted here. Coming, they hear the call here, right? They hear this call. They see you sitting there in the street begging for money, right? Or something. And now they come in here as the savior, the knight in shining armor. They come and they bring this to you here, these resources and love and care and consideration and compassion and everything. That's this guy here. And of course this one would want that. And again, I feel like there's this play on the emotions. Like if you somehow can lure people in with this sob story, right? If you can lure people in with the sob story, if someone can do that, I want to say it's a manipulative person, right? They're actually envious of someone else's qualifications or openness and resources and maybe knowledge or something. They're envious of it, and at the same time they need it. But I feel like when the standstill happens here, it becomes maybe an evolutionary like journey for this person to somehow figure out how to they are on some kind of journey towards figuring something out here, I feel like. And it's their journey, I want to say. That's what I feel. I don't know what happened, why they sit like this, right? But I know that they sit in this sob story, and this could be very real to them. Like this could be their entire world. Like this is the only thing they know, perhaps. Like they have never known anything else. Like they have stopped growing, you know. They have a very weak or very little persona, or like they have a very weak idea of their own self-worth or their own persona, their own confidence or something. Like they really see themselves as like this. That the evolutionary state never grew up. It became very invisible somehow. And the only thing they know is that they are probably envious of people who have more than them. Like they can see others stand in the spotlight, but they know that they are not there. Right? And we have someone here who has been willingly offering like something. They have willingly done that. They have willingly like with no like there's no secret. Like you see all of him, right? You see everything here. Like he's not hiding himself. He's not pretending to be more than he is. He's simply holding out. I feel like I want to say a generous offer of something here with the Ace of Ariel. It feels like it's your lucky day. This person has this. They seem like they come in with some kind of offer here. This is the one you may have been trying to attract if you feel like you identify with someone who has been living a really painful life, I want to say. I feel this is painful and sad and lonely and weak and small somehow. And like if that was the case, I'm really I'm not judging this person, right? Because I do know that some people live a life like this. They live like this. It's terrible. Like they are so dependent on other people. They feel miserable all the time. They feel like they can't really do much. And the reason is because their persona is literally like this, right? They become more of a witness to life, not a participant. Not someone who has like real potential and willpower to actually participate. They are a witness. Like they're put in a witness box where you can only look at life. You cannot really do anything about it. You have no real willpower. You have no way of having an impact. You have no voice. You have no, I don't know what this is, right? But it has no real voice, no impact, no knowledge, nothing. It's put in a standstill, a witness box where you're just looking at life. You're witnessing life, but you're not participating, not really. And it could be out of fear, right? It could be out of a shadowy like a feeling of a shadowy existence. So this is really not fun. I'm really, and I feel like it's this person who put themselves in here. They are calling from this place, sending out a tune, and people get lured towards it because they feel compassionate, they feel sad for this person. Wow, this is a tough destiny, and well, maybe we should help this homeless person, or maybe we should help this unfortunate little child, or like they're playing on all they're using all they want to awaken all the compassionate, caring feelings in people and make them come forward. They want to see someone offer something to them. That's what they're looking for here. They desperately need it, I want to say. And someone has these resources and has the heart and everything, the compassion, the caring, the consideration, and they want it, and maybe they have been offering something here. But it has come to a standstill. It has come to a standstill, or you are realizing it must come to a standstill because you are looking through this now. You're seeing what this is. This game or this, well, again, I'm not sure this person knows. Again, I feel like they have a very weak understanding about themselves. They are rarely here. They are here as a witness, but they are not really here as a person who actively and consciously and with confidence takes action in life. Like maybe this is like a disabled person. Like maybe they can't speak, maybe they can't see, maybe they are blind, maybe they are, their body doesn't work. That's why they become the witness here. They are somehow totally and utterly, again, the standstill, the development didn't occur. So maybe they can't walk, maybe they sit here, maybe they can't speak, they can't like literally say what they want, they can't, they don't have words. They become more of a observer of life. They need an immense amount of all around the clock help, washing, feeding, if this is someone very disabled who can't take care of themselves, they lay in a bed all day, they call for help, or like a baby, right? They can't do anything else but calling for help. They are small, they haven't developed yet. They are more of an observer. They can't participate yet. The body doesn't work as it should, and someone has been like offering something to this situation. I see it like that. Like they have offered something to the situation, but it's a never-ending story. Like it never ends. It never ends. A baby would grow up, right? And eventually, if it's a normal baby, they would start walking, crawling, walking. They will touch things. They will learn how to rip it apart and put it together. And they will learn running and jumping, and they will be able to climb trees and like run over a hill. They will learn how to ride a bike. They will go to school. They will do all kinds of stuff. That's when you grow up. You get out of the standstill. When you grow up, you start to become active, do stuff. You can literally do stuff. This is someone who feels like they can't do stuff. Like they are stuck in time. Like they are just a witness. They can't participate. It's almost like they are a ghost, right? They can't do anything on their own. They need someone to come and do it for them. That's what I feel like. They could be quite envious of those who can run and jump and scream and sing and dance, and they could be envious of it. But I feel like they are in a state where they are not able to put themselves in the spotlight. They don't dare to. They don't feel they have the confidence or the willpower. It's blurred here. They want the attention of someone, but they may not be prepared for an entire audience, right? They want the attention of someone here, one, who can give them what it is that they need. But at the same time, they're very envious of people who can do this, because they can stand in front of a big audience. They are maybe very popular. People ask for them. They want an autograph. They are hiring them constantly. They have a very, as I said, open body language. They could be very charismatic here. They are very capable. They are very, you could say, charismatic, capable, clever. They are, they look good, right? They have all the things going for them. They are maybe a great performer, or they are very successful on stage. They are happily standing in the spotlight. They do well there. They photograph well. You know, they have all these things going for them. And this one doesn't. And they may be envious of that. That they can't seem to get themselves out of this more shadowy standstill or something. Can I get a card on the Ten of Michael here? So I get the Water card. So it's interesting, it says the overflow. When I see this, it's like someone is cleansing themselves, right? They are bathing, they're cleansing themselves. They have a lot of arms here, actually. They have a lot of arms doing something, like an octopus. So it seems like they could be very capable, you know, like an octopus, they can do many things at once. They can solve many things at once. So they may be quick also, quick to do something, quick on its feet. That little ballet dancer here, they're very like, they're quick on their feet. They can jump high, they can, and as I said here, the situation has ended, the performance is over. So you don't have to like put up a performance, be the performer for someone here. You don't have to take care of their business. You don't have to do that. Instead, you can concentrate on cleansing yourself of whatever feelings and like feelings of betrayal and like, you know, like feelings of betrayal, feelings of being maybe taken advantage of, right? Cleansing your heart here, like from the things that you may have performed here. This is an ending card. So instead of dancing here, what are you doing? You are cleansing yourself. You are concentrating on your own healing. I want to say you look at your emotions, you go through your emotional like feelings, and the baggage you were left with, perhaps, that when this stopped, when you took yourself out of this performance game, you are going back to the heart, right? You wanna be able to be the one with the heart here, but it may mean that you need to cleanse yourself. You are, instead of performing for others, you are now retrieving and concentrating on your own healing bath here. And I want to say it seems like quite intensely concentrating on that, or continuously having a focus on cleansing off, I want to say, energies like this, like maybe it takes more than one cleansing bath, right? Maybe it takes weeks, years, but it's like a continuous process of release and cleansing and purifying. And again, she has closed eyes here. She concentrates on her own inner process, on her own process, on her own bath here. She's not having her attention outwardly here towards this one. She's concentrating on her own process of cleansing and healing and saying goodbye to being this, I don't know, caretaker or performer, or as I said, the show is over. It's like they are no longer sharing, or saying or doing something here. They are letting the person stay in the cave if they want to. Like, it's up to them to get themselves out, right? And they are continuously, flushing away the feelings of but maybe I should help them. What if they can't seem to do it anyway? What if they get stuck? What if they hurt themselves? What if they die, right? But then it's my responsibility. It's like they're cleansing themselves of all these feelings of that got them in there in the first place, right? That got them stuck there in the first place. Again, all the good-heartedness, all the compassion, the understanding, the feeling of wanting to save or need to heal, or everything that they wanted to bring to the table, they're going through these emotions here. Like, I was drawn in because they seemed so pitiful, right? So sad and lonely and little, and I got drawn in by that because I am someone who has resources. I am someone who can. I am someone who has time or money or support here. I could actually offer something here. So I was drawn in here to help them. I was drawn into their story, like their narrative here. I believed it. I put my energy in there. I put my effort in there, my heart in there. I trusted it. Again, and now it's like they are washing away this feeling of betrayal and the feeling of being lied to, perhaps. I'm not sure this person thinks that they have lied. It actually feels quite weak here. It could be the situation in general, that if this is literally a person that is in almost a vegetative state, like they can communicate, they are in a, let's say, a coma here, a total stillstand, they are barely there, barely conscious, things like that. Then I want to say it's probably out of your brotherly or sisterly or family caring heart that you got yourself into this in the first place. But you also see how it is continuously going on and it's draining you. And eventually you have to you are stepping out of it. Maybe you see that someone is, I don't know, maybe deliberately staying like this. I don't know. Deliberately staying like this. as I said, someone put themselves in here as a test, right? So someone deliberately putting themselves in a predicament here because they want to attract people that help them. So you need to be in a place where you need help to attract those that help you, right? If you can take care of yourself and you are independent and self-sufficient, they're not coming, right? So you need to become weak somehow and small and independent and codependent and so in somewhat need of help. Otherwise, they are not coming, right? Maybe you're realizing someone put themselves in a weak spot deliberately, like to play on your emotions here, to catch you, or to, I don't know, it feels like that. It feels like as I said, like a test. Are they coming if I let things stand, if I don't do anything, if I say I'm too weak and too exhausted, and my house, I don't do anything, eventually it's going to be so dirty, or, we haven't gotten any real food in weeks, and I become a witness. I'm not doing, as I said, the witness can participate, like they are an observer, they just look, they are not doing anything. So if I'm not doing anything, I say that I'm weak, I just lay in my bed all day, eventually they must come, right? Eventually they must come. But maybe you're realizing that they're doing this deliberately, like they are deliberately making themselves weak or ill or something. And that feels like a betrayal of your emotions here, of your time, of your support. And there's also a disrespect for your life, right? There's a neediness that calls on you. But what about your life? What about the things that you want to do? And that's maybe why you're saying no here, that you're stopping this performance. And you are now cleansing, like, the feelings. You go through the feelings of what this was and how it affected you and why you got yourself into this in the first place, why it was even here. And again, it could be that you, like the door to romance, maybe you fell in love with this person, right? You got grabbed by their story and it somehow got you in there. And, we do that sometimes, right? We fall in love with people. We fall in love with people and when we do that, there's not always a logic to it. There's not always it just happens. And it's only after a period of time that we are realizing, but maybe this wasn't really good for me. Like maybe this was not the best situation. Can I have a... Somehow I get a feeling that the card here is actually for both of them, like both parties. I don't know if there is a sense of a shadow element here going on, that this person potentially actually has the same resources in them as this. They just don't know it. And potentially this one wants to go off stage and become less of a participant, you know, like that they could take a break, you know, like they could become more of an observer and not a doer and not a fixer and not a performer and not a dancer and not a housekeeper and not a giver. You know, like maybe there's a shadow element. Like that's why I feel like, I don't know, this one, it's like it could be for both of them, right? Someone realizing that someone made the sob story to test people. Someone got drawn in by the sob story and eventually figured out that their heart is now trapped in a cage of someone else's sob story, you know, like it's like it was a betrayal. So I feel the story can be or this idea is vice versa. It's both could have something to do with this. Okay, so can I have a self-care card, please, in this situation? A self-care card. Because I'm reading for Self-Care Initiative, this round of readings. And actually it's interesting because I chose a front picture of a woman who pours water over her head. Right? That's the front picture of every video this time around, and now we have this one. And it's so interesting with you, Pisces, because you kind of wrap up every story I've made, like from Aries towards Pisces. Somehow you wrap everything up. Somehow that typically, I've found it many times, like I feel like there's a message in the Pisces reading that kind of wraps everything up. Everything I've been talking about, all the other signs, it's wrapped up. The conclusion or the lesson learned or the things we had to see, it was this. But in this reading, this was it, right? So I can ask either of these. Is it a self-care initiative to make yourself weak or believe that you are weak? Of course not. Right? Is it a self-care initiative to do this deliberately? Never. Right? Is it a self-care initiative to let yourself be drawn into someone else's sob story, give of yourself and make an overperformance? Of course not. So the door to romance, like this picture is actually quite telling for how our heart always gets in trouble somehow, or can get in trouble. Either way, when you have an emotional impact, I want to say, be mindful and look at the situation in front of you, whether you are free or whether you're not free, how it binds you, if it binds you. or how you want to bind someone else and why you want to do that. And if you come from a pure place with your intentions, or whether you come from an impure place with your intentions, it tells you something about you, right? Being open and like, I want to say authentic and open-minded and trusting and having success and standing in the spotlight and everybody likes you and having charisma and being the one who lives a shadowy life, rarely participates, is more of an observant, mostly exists in the shadow. I want to say these are two sides of a story, or of life, right? You can have parts of this in your life, and then you can have part of this in your life. You know, like this could be when you are very active as a young person. This could be when you are more of a, I don't know, either a baby, or you become sick in life, or you are an elderly person here. Both, you could have both in your life. You could have an experience of this in your life. This could also talk about, I would say, retirement, right? That you're retiring. I see it, though, more that someone is trying to free themselves from something else here. But it's not that I see that this person is bad and this person is good, or this version of you is bad and this version of you is good. I see it just like it's maybe probably both is going to happen in your life. Like once you were the baby who cried for the mother, who couldn't, like they were here, right? And you may return to this when you become elderly, right? Seldom having a visit, maybe. You become less and less of, like, weaker and weaker, you know. It's things like, it's just a part of the same story. It's just, it depends on how old you are, perhaps, at the moment. And every feeling that is in front of us here on the table, I want to say it's probably valid. Every feeling is probably valid. And it's probably part of life. It's probably part of relationships and romance and connections and family and like existence and non-existence, and it's how we may deceive others or deceive ourselves. It talks about maybe distrust and trust, open and closed, yes and no, weak and powerful or weak and strong, bad and good, and opportunities and obstacles, and it's really just that. And again, this idea that if you believe you are on this side here, this is me, and I'm looking at this terrible person here, then just remember that maybe when you were a baby, you were maybe like this. And when you become an elderly person, perhaps weaker, your body is weaker, then maybe you become like this. And you become envy of everyone who has a solid, strong body, who's still young, who can still perform and act and do stuff and be active and everything. Just know that it's potentially like a cycle, right? Okay, so let's get a self-care card here. So I get the sacral chakra here. Well, the sacral chakra, core of creation, it says this is the womb. In the feminine body, this is the womb. It is the heart of creation. You could say here, if we look at the color of this heart here, it has red and orange to it. A bit of the same coloring as this, that the heart here, how are you responding? The heart, or what you seem, that what you consider as romance, is it actually that, or are you drawn to something else here? The sacral chakra can talk about sex. It can talk about like reprocreation. It's again core of creation here. It has to do with like existing, living. Yeah, it may talk about sensuality, sexuality. We have the color here, like again, this it's like a fiery thing. This is a self-care thing, a self-care card. Well, I would say that as a self-care card, I would say it talks about well, I can't kind of escape the thought of sexuality here, that the door to romance goes through sex. That the sexual part is a way of getting romance going, or intimacy, or like it's a part of a romantic connection, like could be something like what draw, as I said something in the beginning, like it was a test that you would see if someone would come to your aid, whether they would help you somehow, or help, I talk about this person or this energy, that it would come to your aid, it would come and help you. It would be like a heroic or like the knight in shining armor coming in and rescuing you, as a test, right? That it was done as a test. to see if someone would come. But again, I can't seem to, like, when I get this card as a self-care initiative, I want to say what someone may be like, are they offering something? Is something offered here? It seems like it's a heart, but what if it's... I feel it's something like this person here, they are covering their heart area, right? Like they are in a sad state of being. They are not participating. They're not able to do something about their own situation. They are in a standstill. It's almost like, like in the womb. The woman can produce a child if she has no encounter with a man, right? If she has no, I want to say like semen, if there is no semen coming towards the egg, you can't have a creation. Like you can't create together, or you can't have a romantic creation together unless someone brings in something here. Unless there's a semen. Unless there's semen here, something is at a standstill. It feels a little bit like the feminine cannot create anything unless something comes in, and he is a man here, unless something comes in here and like brings in something here. Like the co-creation between this one and someone here cannot occur unless they kind of meet up, they come together. Whether it's sexually or like building something together, or creating something together, it can't happen unless they kind of meet up. The right yin and yang here has to meet up for something for a creation to happen. Okay, so what do I want to say with this card? I get the feeling that be mindful of whom you connect with in order to create. So who is it you are connecting with if you want to create something, whatever it is in your life. If it's romance here, a romantic partnership, it's almost like the self-care initiative tells me that, yes, people can be drawn by the sexual attraction, but be mindful if that is what you want, or if what other indicators are here that draw you together. Why were you drawn to someone in the first place? That's also a question. That could be a self-care initiative, that if you want to create with someone else, it's like this one here is coming together with this one, right? It's like they meet up through some kind of process here. If you come together with someone, here, what is it you are creating together? And what is it based upon? What were the energies when you met them? How did you feel about them the first time you saw them? Did you feel like, this is my equal? I see a future wife, or I see a future husband in them. I feel confident about them. They feel self-sufficient. They seem like a good partner. What was the first impression about them? Because maybe they were very beautiful here, as I said, the little deer. Maybe they were beautiful, like stunningly handsome or beautiful here. But maybe, shy or withdrawn or something. But extremely beautiful. Maybe you were attracted to them because of that. Maybe you were attracted to them because it made you feel like a hero or something. But what did you create? What did you create together here? This is the self-care initiative. If you want to create something great and prosperous and long-living and dependable, or I don't know, long-lasting and reciprocated and equal give and take and whatever, who are you joining up with then, right? Who are you joining up with? Like that's what I feel like. Be mindful that you don't get your heart trapped, and especially around sexuality or the idea of what, like creating something. Like every time you are meeting up with someone, you create something. You're creating, even if it's a one-night stand, you're creating that. If it's romance, long-lasting, what are you creating? And what are you creating from? And over time, what was your experience here? The creation you made here together, what did you create? Right? How was this experience? What did you learn from it? And what are you taking with you when you leave the scene, or when you kind of you're departing again here? What are you taking with you? Again, I talked about that these two can come together here and create something. But now we are maybe decreating, like we are detaching again here. And what does that create? The detaching. How does this feel for you here, or for you? right? How is that? Like the detaching of something here will also tell you something about the core of this relationship. Like when you detach, it will tell this one something, and it will tell this one something about the core of the creation that you had with each other, that you had together. It will tell you something about whether this was love at all, or whether it was attachment, it was dependency. It had nothing to do with love. It was practical, or it was convenient for someone, and the other one thought it was love. And if you thought it was love, I think you have to think more about why you thought that this was love. Because usually there is a reason. If you get drawn to someone like this, maybe you had a member in your family, like a weak mother or something, so it feels familiar, but it has nothing to do with like reciprocated, romantic, healthy love. Right? So be mindful about that. And for this person, the reason why you get attracted to this is maybe a very strong father figure, right? That you need a father figure to come in. You need someone like this here who is very capable and has a lot of things going for him to come in here and rescue you, right? Again, because it feels familiar, it has nothing to do with necessarily romance here. True, like healthy, reciprocated romance. It can still be a strong tie. It can still be a strong feeling that you are connected somehow, but it's just how are we connected exactly? What is the core of the creation that we had in this? What's the core of this? Why did we even why were we even drawn together in the first place? That could be a self-care initiative that you go through. That research in your mind here. Why was I drawn to this person in the first place? Do I like to be a savior? Do I like the idea of being someone who can be that? It's just shadow work. That's what it is, right? And for someone here realizing that I'm deeply codependent, I need someone here to come and rescue me. To have that realization that I'm totally and utterly dependent on others. That can be enough, actually, to realize how much of an observer of my own life I've been. That I have no real power of actually participating in my life. I have no say in it. How little I am. I have no voice. I have no voice on my own. I have no own identity. It's almost like my identity is owned by whoever comes in here. They determine who I am, right? So just be mindful. That could be what this self-care or the sacral chakra is. That what is it exactly that we are creating? What am I creating with this other person? What was I creating? What kind of marriage was this? Or what kind of partnership was this? What kind of work situation is this? What kind of, I don't know, family situation is this? What is the core the core of this entire story? Why does someone who has so much like real good stuff going for themselves, wanting to connect with someone who is almost invisible, and has so little thing going for themselves here? Why does someone like that wants to connect with someone like this? Is it power? Is it the feeling of being on top? Like I'm the king, and this is like a servant or a, I don't know. It's so that I always steal the picture. I'm the more handsome one, like so every family picture I stand in front of everyone else. I can always assume to take that I'm the strong one, I'm the achiever, I'm the one who has success, I'm admired, I'm adored, I don't know. But that's just some thoughts to consider. Why do these even come together in the first place? And to just have some kind of feeling of existence, this one has to lie and manipulate. Right? What? How do these two come together? That could be a self-care thing. What's the core? As I've said a few times now, what's the core of this get together in the first place? Is it a door to romance, or is it a door to something else? As I said, I when I took out this card, the romance part kind of was not just, it didn't feel right to me. I changed it and said door to love, and maybe that's not even the right word, but at least considering what love is, or considering what romance is. What you have experienced here, is this romance and love? How does someone define romance? What are key factors here that should be present on either side? What is the key factors for love? And if we talk about unconditional love, divine love, what are the key factors? Would this be a relationship of unconditional love? But it's just, yeah. I think you get my point. It's like, I hope you somehow, if you have been in a situation like this, just take from it what you can. But also consider the fact if this was reversed, or that it has, to a certain point, it has, when you were a baby, you were probably like this. Totally dependent on something to come and help you here. And when you get to become an old man or an old woman, you may become here as well. To just understand that there's this cycle, And we can't seem to escape it. We are in human form, right? And so when we are creating with something else. Can be total opposite of you. So something very weak with something very powerful or strong. Makes sense, they could come together, opposites attract. But that's the point of it. Like, but maybe also realizing at some point we are reversing, right? At some point, my child is growing up here, for instance, right? My child is growing up, they become the strong one, and I now become this. Or in another life, right? In another life, I'm the elderly here, and they are my children here. You know, like it's and the compassion can come either way if you understand that. The envy can go away because at one point, maybe you were the strong one. Or in another life you were. But if you are set in your egoic ways, you won't be able to see that. But look at the creation of what has been going on here. And maybe if it seems like someone is withdrawing their attention here, what was created when you were together and what is created now that you are apart? And what can you take with you here? This is what I have. I hope this helped. Take care of yourself, Pisces. Love and light to you. Bye-bye.